Welcome to another episode of the Miami Real Estate Show. Today I have the pleasure and honor to interview another top agent in our industry, Dina Goldentayer, with the DS team at Douglas Elliman. Dina, thank you very much for being in the show today.
My pleasure.
I had a great conversation with you off cameras.
Yes.
About your real estate experience and your sales. You closed over $80 million last year.
That's right.
You hold over $100 million in listings.
Currently, yes.
So tell me how you got to this point. First of all, where you're from, what's your background,
Sure.
and then why real estate?
Right. Well, I'm an immigrant,
Okay.
like so many people in Miami.
Okay. Where are you from?
From Russia.
Okay.
My family immigrated when I was 8, and we moved to Baltimore, Maryland, where I grew up and went to school. When I finished school, I made the move to Miami, which was supposed to be a temporary, I'm here for 6 months. I'm going to go back to law school, mom and dad, I promise. And that never happened.
Okay.
Real estate was kind of a natural calling.
Okay.
Why? I bought my first condo at 21, and I saw what the agent did and how much he made. And I was like, oh, I can do this.
That's usual, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you came from Russia. You
I
went
did.
to Maryland first.
I did.
Then how do you end up in Miami?
I think Miami, it was for me what it is for a lot of people. You see it on TV. It's super beautiful. You come and visit it. You see just, the weather, the people, the easy lifestyle, the health aspect of living here.
Right.
And it just was a calling for me. And when I got here, it felt right.
Okay, so you've been in business for 11 years, right?
I have.
11 years is very little to get to that point where you got, over $100 million in listings, over $80 million sold in 12-month period. It's a huge volume.
Thank you.
So
we're very proud.
You deserve it. So did you have a mentor when you got started in the business?
I did. I did end up having a mentor kind of accidentally.
Okay.
I got a phone call off a newspaper ad, and the gentleman, he was older, and he wanted to talk to me about the listing that I was advertising, but he insisted that I come to his office. He wanted to do it the old-fashioned way, face-to-face.
Okay.
And while he certainly never bought the property he called on, he saw that me and my partner, Slaja, we were young and hungry and had really great energy, and I think he wanted to mentor us before we knew that.
Okay.
'Cause at first we started coming to his office every week pitching him deals, bringing him this condo or this warehouse or whatnot. He had us definitely running all over town and working. But then it became clear that as much as he enjoyed, meeting with us just to talk about real estate, that he wanted to take on the mentor role.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What do you learn from that person?
He was and probably still is one of the top real estate attorneys in Miami Beach.
Okay.
So he taught us the fundamentals of what it takes to actually close a deal. Which was interesting because, you can take seminars and you can attend events, but they're usually about how to get listings, how to do scripts with buyers.
Right.
But to really jump into what makes sense for an investor, that was really like taking our knowledge to another level.
And you were mentioning off camera that also, I don't know if you learned from, you mentioned 2 mentors, right?
Yes.
So that was the first mentor, the lawyer, and then you had another mentor.
We had this amazing client. My partner Slaja and I were working with a client who, he was buying and selling with us. He was doing multiple deals, and he was hitting big. And after the last transaction, he said, let's go to dinner. I want to talk to you girls. And we're just thinking, normal client, broker dinner. But he came up with a proposal to mimic something that he had in California, where he had a younger partner that found the deals, worked the deals, contributed his commission into the deals while he was basically the equity. And he offered us a similar partnership in order to keep the machine going of him buying and selling. Because at that point it was an up market. So now I understand in his mind, he wanted to make sure we were bringing him the best deal.
That's a great point. Yeah. And I was mentioning to you off camera, that's what we tell agents, right? Now what happened to you was you came from the real estate agent point of view, which is great.
Yeah.
Now you became an investor.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have skin in the game.
Exactly.
Not only that, but now he made sure that you brought him the best deals.
Absolutely.
But also at the same time, you were making good money. But more important than the commission, the learning experience, right, was much bigger than whatever money you were going to make. So that's what we tell agents. Partner with your investor clients. If you have investors, forget about the commission, the 2, 3, 4, 5%. Put that commission into the investment. By the way, the client is going to appreciate that. It's going to say, this guy really wants to get into the game.
Yeah, he believes, he or she believes in that deal.
Exactly. Now, not only that, but now you start to learn, not only to pitch the deals, but to learn how to invest in real estate, which has way more value than whatever commission you can make. So that's something we tell agents all the time. If you can partner with a client, make sure you do so.
Or at least what we've learned from that client who's become a client, a mentor, a partner, a friend, someone I'm going to invite to my wedding. What we've learned from him is, I mean, there's no school that could teach us that.
There's no commission that can pay for it.
He sold his company for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Imagine.
So to have his everyday guidance on things that are small or big, and just to learn from him, you know, sure, being a partner in a multi-million-dollar deal is great, but what we've learned from him, you know, I'll have that forever.
Right. By the way, when you say, because that's what I did when I got out of banking and started doing real estate, when you say to a client, let's partner, and even if I have very little money, I'll put my commission, it's 3, 4, 5% of the deal, doesn't really matter. Now, that client, next deal, he's not going to go with somebody else.
That's a good point too.
He's going to come with you because now you're his partner. So you want to secure that big client, become a partner. Right? That 3, 4% you're going to make, again, it's going to be very little compared to what you can make in the future and the learning experience you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, everything's a trade-off. Of course, the years where I was more focused on the real estate investments, my brokerage business did not prosper as much because you only have so many hours in the day. But it's still, you know, it's a great balance. It keeps you from getting bored. You see both sides of the actual board. And it's been an amazing experience.
Also, from that learning experience, the ability to communicate increases tremendously.
Definitely. When I
Your vocabulary is completely different now.
When I speak to someone on the phone that I know is extremely successful in business, you know, even a billionaire, I'm confident in my capability to interact.
Very, very good. So you had those mentors. Now, talk to me a little bit about marketing. I said many times to the agents, we are not in the business of real estate. Anybody can show a property, right? But actually, we're in the business of marketing. So tell me about your marketing strategy.
Yeah, I mean, the market that I focus my brokerage business on is the Miami Beach luxury market. And it is the most competitive.
It is extremely competitive.
It is extremely competitive. The price points are through the roof. You're dealing with the top brokers in the country in this marketplace.
Yes, you are.
And for my team to make a niche and set ourselves apart, we tell our sellers, when you hire an agent, you're hiring a marketing agent.
I love that. When you hire an agent, you're hiring a marketing agent. Very, very good.
That's what we believe, because it's pretty easy to put a property in the MLS. It's nonsense to put a sign up front, but what happens next? And when we sit down with a seller, we have a 70-page comprehensive marketing plan that's our exclusive marketing plan. It's not given to us by our broker. I mean, of course, we're representing our broker, but it's our marketing plan that we've honed for the last 10 years, and we're showing you this is what we do from day one of taking the listing. Actually, what we're doing a month before we take the listing, because we've got to prepare all our marketing materials, of course.
Very good, very good.
And we guide them through the process as to from day zero to the sale. And of course, it's a major burden on us financially because, as you know, in this business, you know, 9 out of 10 times the realtor's paying for the marketing.
Now, this is a 70-page marketing plan.
It is. It's
right?
digital.
So
it's not a
unfortunately, we can go over it in the show. But tell me one or two things that stand out. How you differentiate yourself from other agents in this marketing plan.
Well, we of course let them know that to start the marketing plans, we have to have the tools and images. And the tools and images you may think are so basic, like professional photography, but it's amazing how many agents skip that step. And even when the seller says, of course, yes, duh, I know you're going to take photos, we show them our photos. We show them the photographer that we've been working with for the last 7 years, that even when our company provides us with their in-house photographer that's free of charge, we go with our guy, because he's got the best eye. You know, he makes the property really shine. Like, we constantly get complimented on our photography. So it's so basic, but we show them that even in something basic, we go above and beyond by working with someone who's the best. next we work on the presentation of their properties so that when we do the photography, the videography, the aerials, that the house or condo is presented in the best way. And we used to feel uncomfortable telling an owner, hey, you need to declutter or move stuff around.
You talk about staging
yes,
of camera.
Exactly. Or stage.
How important,
Yes.
staging is such an important part
Right.
of making the house sellable,
Absolutely.
right? So
telling
what do you
someone
do?
to declutter is easy compared to we want you to spend money to stage your house.
We see it right here.
Yes, but too many times we've done our photography, our videography, the place doesn't look right, and then we come back and have to have the conversation about staging, and then we lost a month of time by the time we get the new images. So now we have the conversation right off the bat. In our marketing plan,
Very good.
we show them a before and after of a house where an owner thought the house looked all right. We convinced them to stage it, and it sold 30 days later.
It's a huge difference.
Huge
difference.
If they don't have the budget or the comfort level,
Listen to this.
we show them you can do digital staging.
Which is amazing.
It is. It's really,
virtual staging is
yeah.
just incredible.
In the last,
Right?
I would say 6 months, I'm seeing it more and more in Miami. And of course, you know, in the photography, you can't tell. I mean, it looks like the living room is how you're going to see it.
Right.
And a lot of owners are super receptive to that because digital staging does not cost them as much as actually, you know, renting or buying furniture.
And it's unbelievable to see the staging. I've seen houses without a pool with a pool.
Yes.
I've seen houses where they want to put Chicago bricks.
Yes.
And they put the Chicago bricks and they're not there physically.
Exactly.
Especially right now with so many condominiums coming in the market in Miami, the flooring, you can pick any type of floors, the furniture, everything.
Right in this neighborhood, I just actually have the one of the last sales in this neighborhood. We sold a house last month. We had the listing for over a year. The owner had very particular taste. And even though it was a family house, he had it set up like a bachelor pad. And when we'd have showings to husband and wife and couples, they couldn't see that this is a family house. So I brought in a designer. She created the digital staging. I had a family that said, we love the house, but my wife really thinks it's too dark, it's too goth, it feels like a bachelor pad. They came back for a second showing. I had my iPad. I showed them, look at this proposal from a designer, basically taking his space and overlaying the furniture over it, and they bought the house after that.
Very, very good.
So it works. It's super effective. It's just where sellers are now so open to it because they understand that this is going to get them a sale.
By the way, if your client doesn't have the budget for staging like you see here, tell me a little bit about how much is this house? This house is, where is it?
This house is on Lagorce Country Club, which is one of the most prestigious country clubs in the country. So if you buy this house, you can have the country club cut in the gate, so you can take your golf cart right onto the golf course.
Which we can see right here in the backyard,
it's a really amazing location.
How much is the house?
The house is 5.1. We've had it on the market for about 90 days, and we've come to the owners and said, hey, you know, we need a little bit of a price reduction, so we hope that by the end of the week it'll be $4,850.
Okay. Professionally staged.
It is professionally staged because they did, you know, they spent so much money on a renovation. The house, it took them 2 years to do the house almost.
Beautiful.
It's a perfect house. But then to take photography of something that's empty, that really isn't going to be, you know, it just doesn't speak to the client. Most people aren't visual. You know, and people fall in love with the small things, like, oh, look at the wine cooler, look at the fireplace. You know, those are the things that make someone actually fall in love with the space.
It's an emotional purchase.
Absolutely.
So if you have a house that is not a $5 million house, or if your client doesn't have, or you don't have the budget for an actual physical staging, then you can use the virtual. It makes a huge difference when you're showing a property, when you're selling a property. Big difference.
Right. And on top of that, we do a 3D floor plan. So everyone's seen a basic 2D floor plan. You know, it's a schematic plan. A 3D floor plan. We've seen some of the other agents in our community starting to use them, but we've been using them for a year and a half. They're incredible because so many deals get done in Miami Beach, especially without a client coming to town. So the more tools we can provide to them, you know, through digital media, the better. And to do a 3D floor plan where they literally, it's like a dollhouse. You see the whole house. You can click. You walk through the house. To do that for something that's empty, it's not appealing. It doesn't seem fun for a buyer to want to play with. So yeah, we're full proponents of the first impression, you know, being the right one.
Exactly. So you were also mentioning that you are a marketing agent, and you
Yes.
mentioned off camera
Yes.
that you work. I don't know if you remember that part of the
Of course,
conversation.
that's my go-to one-liner.
Okay, so what's that line? I love that line.
Sure. Well, when we sit down with the seller and we tell them what we're doing here for them today, we explain that they control the price and the condition of the house. Right. We control the marketing.
Very good.
And hence they understand why we're making our fee. And they know that we're paying for this marketing. And at the end, when we get the big commission check, they feel like we earned it.
Right. Very, very good. So you control the marketing, they control the price and the condition.
Exactly.
Right? Very, very, very good.
And people really relate to that because, yeah, it's my house. I'm going to price it the way I want to. And, you know, as far as condition, sure, the best is when the seller takes amazing care of the property. But when we come back and say, hey, didn't show well, none of your beds were made, you left out, you know, food, then they understand, like, there's much of a process to help us get a sale. The condition is their category.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you are incorporating the owners, your clients, the sellers into the
team.
selling process. It's a team.
Yeah.
There you go.
We like to think we're the captain of that team. That's why they hire us.
Very good.
But we cannot, you know, if they don't make the house available for showings, or if it shows like crap when they do, it's not we're not gonna achieve results.
So look at what Dina's doing right here. Not only she's engaging the client during the sales process, but more important, when you engage that client, it's much more difficult to that client to go with another agent. That's sometimes the market slows down. Sometimes the property is overpriced. So many things go into the selling process. Sometimes the house doesn't sell within the time we want to.
Sure.
But if you have that client engaged with you, there is a retention tool, integrating, bringing the client into the sales process.
Sure.
That is a retention tool for you.
Yeah, and when you really make your business about marketing, you know, it used to be that 6 months was enough to sell in the Miami Beach neighborhood. Now it's almost 12 months. Not in every case, but we now push for 12-month listings. And when we come to them and say someone's not comfortable with that, we take the 6 month. After month 5, we come to them showing you, look what we've done from day 1. Here's your marketing book of everything we've done.
Very good.
When it's time to ask for that extension, they're open to it. You know,
Great
I would
point.
say 3/4 of the time they extend the listing because they see we're working, we're hustling.
Right.
Yeah.
You're working with them as a team. They are
Exactly.
engaging with you. It's much more difficult for them. They've seen the effort. All right. So definitely, it's much easier to get the.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, it's a lot of times when something's not selling, the client's saying, what's going on? Right. So to have that team atmosphere, sometimes we come to you, the client, and say, hey, it's not selling because of you, because you're controlling the price and not letting us get a reduction.
Very good. Very good. I like that approach. Okay.
You know, so it's because it's when it's not selling, they blame us.
Right.
So we sometimes
know that. Right?
We want to blame them back.
There you go. Very good. Now, good points. Tell me about your time management abilities or time management issues. I mean, we all have to deal with time management. We all have those issues. Tell me something that works for you in terms of time management.
Well, I've gotten better through the years. You know, our business is so competitive that I used to have no boundaries. You know, I would take your call at 11 o'clock at night.
I like that, okay.
If that's what was necessary. I would send emails till 2 a.m. if I wanted my team to get in and see my responses before their day got going. But in recent, I would say maybe in the last 2 years, I found a little bit more balance. I'm able to say no to certain situations that would hinder my personal life. Because in the end, you know, if you set a limit, you know, you don't usually lose. I mean, I've never lost a client over putting a boundary of, hey, you know, it's a holiday for me.
Oh, great you say that.
Yeah, because I mean, I could never do that earlier in my career because I didn't have the confidence. Right. But now that I really know the value I bring as a professional, in any other business, I mean, your accountant or your attorney says, hey, I'm at a wedding, you know, let me call you tomorrow. You know, people understand. But with realtors, sometimes, you know, we spoil our clients. And it's been hard for me to put that limit. But
very important. So setting boundaries is one of your priorities.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
And if it's like a $10 million deal, I'll probably walk out of the wedding.
And you'll forget about the wedding.
Forget the limits.
All right. So tell me, do you have a particular habit that allows you to perform at such a high level?
It is, and it's a negative one. It's It's traditionally called micromanagement.
Okay.
It definitely stems from a place of where I think if I do it, it'll be right.
Okay.
If I don't, I need to give that person so much instruction.
Okay.
Where they literally feel like they have no autonomy. That
Okay.
it's just me like weighing on them.
Okay.
It's not great for the people around me because you know, they don't get a chance to fulfill the task and say, hey, I'm done with this, when I'm already following up on it and giving further guidance. So I don't know that I would recommend that strategy to my peers.
Okay, good. Now it brings me to a final point before the advice to new and experienced agent.
Sure.
We didn't touch on this off cameras, but it's a very important point.
Tell me.
I say that the trend in 2015, 16, and ahead, is having teams.
Yes.
It's pretty much impossible to go to a listing presentation on your own and earn that listing without having a team.
Unless you have a personal relationship with
and that happens. It's not usual. I mean, if you really want to excel in real estate, if you really want to exponentially grow your business, you can depend on your sphere of influence. Unless you've been in business for 15, 20 years,
or
right?
34,
or 34 years. It's just so long, and even so. So you have a team. You have a partner.
I have a partner. We have an office manager, we have a marketing coordinator, we have a buyer's agent, and we have a showing assistant.
Very good. It's the key to success in this business. I have agents that are now going to presentations even with a photographer.
Oh, wow.
With a stager.
No way.
I mean, they're going, the whole team is like,
wow,
the client goes like, wow, okay, so these are all the people that are going to be working with me.
I like that.
Right?
That's pretty clever.
It's now, and if you have that team, it causes, like you said, first impressions are so important, right? And having that group of people working for you makes a huge difference.
Yeah, well, they're paying the 6% regardless. So when they, well, in most cases, so when they see, look how much I get, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
For us, the team, you know, we look at bigger teams and want to grow in that direction. But for us, it's such a responsibility to take on a teammate because we feel like, okay, what's this person going to help us with? But how are we going to help mentor that person? And if we feel like we don't have the capability to mentor, to really be there for that person, my partner and I actually do something very counterproductive that we say, we're not going to hire a new member, we're going to take on more on ourselves. And that's actually something we need to work on. It's definitely a weakness.
Okay. What we say in coaching is you need to automate, then delegate, so you can liberate from the day-to-day operations, right?
I like that.
I copy it. That's not my lane. I copy that from Tim Ferriss.
But I haven't yet liberated myself.
Yeah, but that's what, you know, it's in order to grow and to have a higher quality of life, it's, you know, it's automate,
delegate,
liberate. There you go.
Like,
so final thing, advice for new agents. I mean, I just got my license. What would you say to me if I just got my real estate license?
Well, if you got your real estate license right now, I would feel a little bad for you because you'd be entering a tough market.
Okay, all right.
I would say this is the great time to enter a team because, you know, in a great market, it's not that hard to put together deals. But in a market that's transitioning like we have right now, I would definitely say, you know, expect to learn more in a team as opposed to seeing huge dollar signs in your first 12 months, and use the time to learn, to work under a top producer, to see how they work, and branch out on your own. If you know, some people always want to fly alone, other people always want to be on a team. So I would definitely advocate what you're saying. Join a team or join a company that pushes teams to grow, that's going to give you great training, because this is the time to train without feeling like, hey, I'm missing out on big opportunities.
And it's so difficult for new agents when they're on their own, right? They get into their head and they start thinking and they stay home and they get isolated.
No schedule. There's no boss. You know, there's no getting in trouble if you don't show up. So not everyone's a self-motivator. So getting the structure of accountability, I think, is so important.
Very good point. So what would you say to an experienced agent?
To an experienced agent.
To another experienced agent.
Well, you know, obviously everyone has their niche, you know, so, you know, I know one of our competitors, he's always on the phone. You know, another one, they're knocking on doors. You know, so those are the things we want to take from them, because those haven't been core strengths in our business. What someone would want to probably take from us is our marketing. You know, our pieces are so beautiful. Everything's unique. We don't have a single template. We really pride ourselves on showing like love to the properties. And sometimes, you know, I see a competitor advertising something in black and white. It looks like a newspaper ad, and it's sad, and I feel bad for that house, you know? So definitely I would tell some of our competitors to put a little more effort in their marketing. Just Don't copy us.
As I said, marketing is the key to this business. We're not in the business of real estate. We're in the business of marketing.
Yeah.
Dina, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
It's been like 25, 27 minutes of full,
oh my God, I could
compact
go another
information.
half hour.
I would, believe me, I would do too. I mean, I love doing this, especially with top agents like yourself. I really appreciate the time. Thank you for having me in this beautiful Lagorce house.
5334 Lagorce.
5334 Lagorce.
Right.
Of course, this is the featured property for the show. You're going to have everything about the property in the footnotes. And Dina, thank you very much for being in the show. Thank you. And until next time, make it a very, very productive day. Take care, guys. If you're listening or watching this episode, it means that you want more knowledge, clients, money, and of course, better business and life. You know that your ability to plan and execute is essential to your success as a real estate agent or broker. So here's how you build a remarkable real estate business. Over the past 15 years, we have coached and interviewed thousands of agents and 30 of the top agents in the country, including number 4 and number 7 according to Forbes and the Wall Street Journal. And we've discovered that they all do different things and they do it in different ways. But they all do the major things exactly the same way. So let's start with what they don't do. They don't do cold calls. They don't call expired listings. They don't just send postcards. What they do is 100 times more powerful than any of those things. And even now, hardly any agent or real estate broker understands the strategy. The Masters in Real Estate Sales program from the Montiel organization gives you the opportunity to discover and implement those strategies and develop a plan customized for your business. This is the advice, the training you wish you had years ago. In an industry where, please listen to this, according to the Florida Association of Realtors, the average income of a full-time agent with 12 years of experience is $28,160. So you must definitely have a clear and simple strategy that actually works. So go to our website, montielorganization.com, or call 305-305-5965 to find out how you can build a remarkable real estate business.